So, it's 2:08 p.m. on Thursday, August 22nd. I'm thinking. I forgot to look at the tape before I turn on the camera. So tired. So tired of this. Just been trying to start all day with these breathing spasms, of course. So worn out.
Lead to get stuff done here in Washington? Who has the ability to work with Congress, work on a bipartisan basis with Congress to get people's business done? And which is why
Problem is, I'm tired, but I can't sleep. I feel so guilty just going to sleep. Laying still is one thing, which is kind of required. I just don't get that comfortable here because I should be at work. That's another thing about work, you know. That's all I've ever done my whole life is work, and I don't know what to. This isn't vacation by any means. This is what kind of work I don't like doing. It's hell. When I worked 10 months into this condition, I didn't leave. They asked me to go, but I'm kind of was waiting for them to tell me because I couldn't do it. I couldn't dismiss myself. I just was fighting through it, and it was getting harder and harder. I really believe that if they hadn't pulled me out when they did, I'd probably be dead now because it was quite aggressive. The movement just aggravates it and just makes it so much more aggressive. I mean, this is just me laying still. So, yeah, September 22nd, 2016, the charge nurse was following me around. She sneaked around following me, listening to me, because there had been a lot of complaints. I had people that really didn't want to complain on me, but they had no choice. They were afraid for me, for my health in particular, but also I was making mistakes. I come to work already totally exhausted, put in 8 hours of aggressive work in surgery. You know, you got patients in 13 or 14 rooms simultaneously. Work, anywhere you work, you have to be completely clear and give you 100% of yourself for whatever it is. And God, I'm rambling. I don't even know what I was just talking about. So me missing work, I lose a lot. One, I lose a full paycheck. I haven't had a full paycheck in, gosh, since they had me leave. Disability covers a bit, which is nice when it was in effect, but that's 40% income that you have to make an adjustment to. And then my 401k just came to a complete stop, so retirement is now screwed. And so I actually, to get me through this little short period, because I didn't have that much built up for 5 or 6 years, and then you get penalized for taking it out early, which I needed to do. I had no choice. Just to buy some time here to figure this out. I'm so sorry. And then I have now 5 doctors, an ENT who wrote actually a note in 2017 saying I couldn't work for anybody. My primary, of course, they've all seen me in these episodes. My chiropractor, the Erratic, who I actually don't have a letter yet from. He's the one that actually made the mistake. And he adopted some verbiage from the chiropractor who was taken completely out of context in his notes. Adopted those and just did a restriction, which MetLife had multiple letters of physicians saying that I'm not employable at this time, and so they just dismissed all that and found something to latch onto, which is what they do, because they don't, that's why they're a $70 billion revenue company. They take your money, but they certainly don't like to give it out. You pay into this. And then that doctor, which is at the hospital I work, that screwed this all up in the first place, and now is backpedaling severely because I went in there and I laid it in on him, and I had a certified letter in April that he didn't respond to. Multiple calls, I had it all documented. An email, and all were ignored. And I just wanted to answer to that, out of all things. And he kept trying to dismiss that question and go to something else. And I kept bringing him back, and I said, you know what, doctor? McKenna, I need you to answer why you didn't respond to that letter, why you return these calls, or have your staff or somebody that can speak to me at that level respond. He couldn't answer the question, and he knew that I was focusing in on that in particular, because that is kind of a bit of a malpractice position, and the fact that MetLife was let go because of his negligence, not responding to they're the ones that actually sent him, Dr. Wishingrad, and my primary and my chiropractor, all these letters to confirm my case and update. They all responded except for Dr. Wishingrad and Dr. McKenna. But Dr. Wishingrad, because I sent a certified letter, because the MetLife said, can you get these people to respond? We want to hear from these two particular doctors. So that was February, March, April, and then I made some calls. Wasn't getting through, so then I got frustrated. And I thought, okay, a registered certified letter. That way I know that they got the letter. They can't say they didn't receive it. And to get their attention, Wishingrad responded right away. And wrote the appropriate letter. And every time I have an appointment with him, I'm actually always in episode, which never happens for any other physician, really. It just seems to stop at the door, doesn't perform. And then I leave, and then it starts back up again. So I always get pissed that the hiccups hide from certain people. Physicians, there's certain environments you go into, you're nervous, because it is a nerve-related issue, so it likes to respond to certain things, like if I get really excited about telling Robert about something, it won't let me speak. It keeps kind of spasming. It won't let me finish my the news I want to share with him. It's really frustrating. So just things like that, that change the dynamics of this condition. But Dr. McKenna didn't respond to anything. And it's because of him that I was dropped. Now he knows that I have an attorney lined up. I think that fears him the most. So he's been checking with me every other day, kind of letting me know where he's going. I know he's also buying time because he won't give me the letter. He keeps saying that the phone calls he's making to MetLife or whatever he wants to document in the letter as well. So he's basically covering his tracks. I know what he's doing. But at some point, he's going to buy. I'm not giving him that much time. I'll give him the end of the week because the attorneys I spoke with last week were supposed to send their contracts this week, and I haven't seen those yet. But I haven't not called them back because I don't want to. This little conflict here. So if McKenna can get MetLife back on board, great. He has that kind of power. I mean, it was MetLife's IME doctor, Dr. Joshua Lewis, that referred me to Dr. McKenna. I would never have gone to a doctor that I work with because if it turned into a surgery, I didn't want to be in a surgery room with the staff that I work with, or I was trying to get back to work with. And I didn't want them to know me that well, so I really was never going to the facility I'm from. Only when I thought that it was going to be a brain surgery. I talked to somebody on the phone who had, back here, they went in and they wrapped his phrenic and vagus nerve with Teflon because it was his condition, his hiccup condition for 8 years, was that his bloodline apparently was interacting with the nerve and causing his reaction. And when it hit him, his wife was pregnant with their third child. It devastated their lives. They ended up in their car, living in their car for a while. I believe it just ravishes your life, and anybody that's around you is just sucked into this. This is just crazy. And everybody now that I've talked to since Chasing the Cure has opened some doors to finding other people with this condition. So I started a little support group, so that we could all exchange without just relying on one person, and you can get there when you get there and respond. And it's actually kind of cool now when we're all sharing our notes, and although we may have different reasons for having these hiccups, and they could be different reasons why they're happening in our bodies, they might not be the same solution to get it fixed. The stories are all the same, and the medications aren't working, and we're all seeing like multiple doctors and doing all kinds of corrective surgeries, taking all the same kind of medicines, and basically we're comparing notes. We're all almost doing the same things and not getting any improvement. So in that respect, it gives you solace to know that you're not alone, and that there are others out there doing the same work that you're doing, unfortunately getting the same results, but at least you know you're not crazy. And I don't know, it's hard to think, but so that has sort of been the value so far of Chasing the Cure for me. When I posted, I kind of opened the channel. I posted a video on their website, and then got a response from somebody that had it, and then another person latched onto that, and it started to snowball. And that's when I decided to start a support group online, and that's kind of for 3.5 years was what I kind of half of what I needed, just to know that I'm not alone. This could not just be me out here with this condition. I knew it wasn't. I just don't think I think people are quiet about it. But now we're being vocal, and hopefully maybe that'll start changing physicians' attitude to take a little more attention to it. But as it is now, I mean, I spend a lot of time Googling and studying this condition, so anytime I walk into a physician's office, I speak better language about the condition than they do, and they should know better, especially gastroenterologists, thoracic surgeons. They should know. And when I see what they come up with, their ideas, I'm like, you Googled that. I had already known that information. You want to try something that I already Googled on? They're not offering anything that's beyond what's in Google, of all things. Not yet, anyway. So, in that respect, I'm quite disappointed that they're not going above and beyond. They're just with their time and energy and their skills of their just skills to study. I mean, to become an MD, you have to be a really great person who can study, learn, and I mean, you just don't get degrees like that without having a special brain to problem solve. And I just think they're just a little lazy, and it's just too time consuming, and people just we live in a society now where just everybody wants to collect as much money as they can, take the easy jobs, and forget the hard ones. And that's kind of what I feel like every time I go into doctor's office. They try a few things, they get excited. Then when they see it's not working, they start to get frustrated, and they refer you to other people, or ignore you, drop you, abandon you, and abandon you enough that I'm at my fourth gastroenterologist. I've had four. I had a neurologist and four neurosurgeons. I'm on my second or third Erratic. Multiples of everybody. So that says a lot when you're still searching out the same type of doctor. You're just kind of looking for that one that's willing to just take the time. This is required time, studying, thinking outside the box.
Because there were two top priorities for Republicans. One was the Supreme Court, the other was tax cuts for the wealthy. In both cases, the Republicans changed it to a simple majority. They changed it, right? In both cases.
So I guess what I was talking about work is I love working. I worked very hard in the entertainment business, 12, 18-hour days. Now that's gone. I could never do that under this condition. So that was going to be I come and go in that industry every 10 years. I work a bit, and then I leave for a long time, and I come back. Well, I was looking at the next time going back into probably my retirement years. So,
can either get something done or stop something in its tracks.
This just sucks.
What does that look like in a filibuster?
And now I don't have an insurance income. I don't have any income now. They just sent me my last check, which is half of what I was getting, because they cut me off halfway through the last pay period. So, like I said, I sold a little of my 401k, took a huge hit, penalty, just so we could buy, some time. I don't know what to do. And Robert's amazing. He's just talking to other people. They have partners too that are really amazing, and some don't. They just abandon you in this process. So some are left alone to struggle. That is terrible. What people will do when they're facing hard times. A lot of people just like to stick around for the good fun times when it gets hard and difficult. That's where the real love is, and that's where you really learn about your partners and. That's why there's a lot of divorce out there. People are so quick to quit, which means that I don't think they're really that in love in the first.
It's absolutely what the way the Senate should be. In just a few years ago, you could force a vote on something like that. But now,
anyway,
it's all in his hands.
I'm very fortunate. I had a partner of 10 years who got ill with a very rare condition. Rhodococcus equine, which is a horse bacteria virus that gets in your lungs, literally eats you from the inside. I think when he was finally diagnosed, it took forever, and I think his mother's the one figured out because they have a horse ranch and veterinarians, and his symptoms seemed familiar to what their horses gone through. And I think his mother's the one that figured it out, not the physician. And then when we finally came to what it was, rhodococcus equine, I think at that moment, there's only 60 documented cases worldwide. I think now there's maybe 120 for humans. It's really hard for humans to get. Poor Mac, he's fought and struggled for several years. And we lost everything under that too. We had just built a beautiful 2-story log house in the mountains on 20 acres. When it struck him, and a house, you just don't. I mean, we physically built it ourselves, and totally a labor of love. And then when we finished, we were in the house for a little bit. Then he got hit with this, and we were way in the mountains of New Mexico, far, far away from anywhere that you need to be when you're not that well. So we had to take a huge loss and sell this house. That these people now, whoever have it, we're gonna make a fortune out of it. It sucks. So he went up and down for a number of years, and then he stupidly got on a horse and fell and cracked some ribs, and I think that caused his, because about a week or so after that fall, I was in the shower, and I came in, and he had blood coming out of his mouth. His lungs had filled up with blood, and it was just so hard to, it was just a tough time, and he never came out of that. He went on life support, and we did every test possible. His parents were there. Everybody flew in right away. They had just left our area, and then they flew back. My mom was there, and they were very supportive, and unfortunately, they were very kind to allow me to make the decision, but it was a tough decision to turn off the life support. But I didn't want to do it because I knew Mac didn't want to be in the hospital and die there. But at that moment, I didn't have a choice until he told me in a very loud way. We turned off the life support. I told him it was okay to go, which I didn't really believe in my heart. It was not okay to go. And he kept breathing on his own, which was not supposed to happen. And it didn't take me long to figure out what he wanted. And I don't know if I just demanded that I wanted him transported home, to our bed. And they arranged it. Right away, we transported him back, and everybody was there. The dogs were on the bed. Everybody was just a loving and most beautiful environment. And he got to go with a lot of love and peace. And I took his last breath right in my face. I just happened to lean over, and he just took that, just blew out, and that was that. Now, that was 1998. Now, all these years later, now Robert's sort of in that position with me, watching me suffer and dying. I feel like I'm dying inside. This is what this feels like. It's just slowly suffocating me. And I fear that for him to have to go through what I did. This is where I can honestly say I'm glad I'm going through this and not him, because I couldn't. I mean, I would, but I just would have a hard time watching him go through this. He just doesn't know what to do. He feels so helpless, so he does what he can to make me as comfortable as possible. And then our cat, it was 17, it's gonna be 18 soon, just passed away. My companion, my day companion through this process, passed away May 27th, just a couple months ago. And so I'm just here alone with zero energy to do anything. This sucks. I mean, from the outside, if you weren't living this and seeing it, and now the videos, whatnot, you would assume hiccups. Well, how hard can that be? You know, you're just trying to get out of work, trying to live a vacation life, and that's not true at all. I'm not that way. This is not fun. Everything's just so I don't know what to do. But I have to stay strong because I have responsibilities. One to Robert, but I have, you know, I'm a fighter, so I'm going to do what I can. But it seems like I'm being pushed out of life.
So help heal your skin from within with Dupixent is not a steroid, and it continuously treats your eczema even
I wasn't planning on making a video like this.
4 times more patients taking Dupixent saw clear or almost clear skin
At all.
compared to those not taking it, and patients saw a significant reduction in itch. Do not use if you are allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions occur, including anaphylaxis, a severe reaction. Tell your doctor if you have new eye problems, including eye pain or changes in vision.
So I can hear the hiccup. I mean, the burp's coming in now, so that's going to take this to another level, which is choking spasms.
With Agile, you'll ask, what sore muscles? What pounding head?